revolution now! Hey everybody, today we are going to be reviewing Cult of Luna's newest album, A Dawn to Fear. For those of you who don't know Cult of Luna, they are a freaking legendary post-metal slash atmospheric sludge metal band, post-rock, you know, all that post-metal crap. They're freaking awesome. They've been around for like 20 years. If you don't know them, you should go check them out. If you're not very familiar with the genre of post-metal, maybe you should check out some of Cult of Luna stuff to help you kind of get into the genre, given that they are freaking essential. Their album, Somewhere Along the Highway, freaking legendary album. Maybe you want to start there, or maybe you want to start with this album, because this album is actually pretty good too. So, let's start by taking a look at the freaking album cover, shall we? This is a classic artsy-fartsy post-rock slash post-metal Cult of Luna-esque album cover. Very minimal, very artsy, makes you want to just look at it and take notes and cry because it's so beautiful. Anyways, let's just hop right into the music. So the first thing that stood out to me about this album is that it's freaking 80 minutes long. And as a music critic, I hate that shit because I have to listen to these albums over and over and over again before I can actually freaking come up with an opinion to review. So I have to listen to this 80-minute album multiple times. And you know what? I was actually totally happy with that because this album, pretty fucking slick, okay? So what we've got here is, I listened to the first track and I'm into it. And I'm expecting, okay, this track here is probably, I think it's called A Silent Man. This is probably the best track on the album. They're probably just going to put the best track at first, and then after it, the rest of the 80 minutes is going to get real boring and slow. It's going to dip in quality, and then maybe the last song on the album will be good again. Wrong. I actually found that this album, for the entire 80 minutes, every single fucking track here is very well put together, very well composed, lots of attention to detail, very well done album. The entire 80 minutes. So I loved listening to this album. And what actually was really cool was I feel like the second half was better than the first, because once you get to the song Nightwalker, yeah, I mean, it's like, I feel like the first three songs are just really freaking tight, awesome post-metal atmospheric sludge songs. But then the song Nightcrawlers, like the movie Nightwalkers, you get these drums that are so explosive, and they're so like lots of like hi-hats. It almost makes you want to fucking dance to it. And then all of a sudden the next track, Lights on a Hill, is a 15-minute epic freaking track, the longest song on the album, and that's the best song on the album. And I love when the best song on the album is also the longest, because it's just more good music, frankly. And then the track after that is so lovely, it's kind of decompresses, and the track after that is aggressive. So it's got a lot of dynamics. It got a lot of different tones on this album. We've got tones on this album that are vague, kind of beautiful guitar sounds, fantastic, very atmospheric. We've got guitar tones that are very aggressive, very crunchy, got a ton of a bite to it. Fantastic metal guitar tones, very beautiful, awesome, contrasting between the gorgeous and the aggression. We've also got organs and synths on this album that sound fucking fantastic. We've got some bells in there. We've even got guitar riffs that kind of sound kind of twangy, almost remind me of country. So we've got a whole array of creativity pouring out for 80 minutes, and it makes me think like, Jesus Christ, Cult of Luna, you've been doing this for so long. How are you releasing this amazing album so late into your career? This has got to be one of your best albums. This album rocks. The only complaints I really have with it is that it's not really bringing anything too new to the table. If you have heard post-metal or listened to other Cult of Luna stuff, you've probably heard a lot of these ideas before, and it is also really long, so that's going to turn off a lot of people, even though it is very good throughout the entire thing. But overall, it's fantastic. I highly recommend if you're into Cult of Luna. I highly recommend if you're into post-metal. I highly recommend if you're not into post-metal. If you're into Swans or something like that, heavier post-rock bands with a lot of repetition, you probably could appreciate this album a lot. Go check it out. I'm giving this an 8.7. Very fantastic job, Cult of Luna. Phantasmo Punk Revolution. Now.